magic spell you cast. This is when you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see la vie when you press me to your heart. I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels fly from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, baby, it's gonna be la vie
There's a volume control on the where the goes in, where the headphones plug in. You can adjust it there. Okay. Sorry. What? Well, yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, if you want, let's see. Yeah. I just put up the saying, see what you can see.
when you press me to your heart. I'm in a world apart,
Bring the mic.
a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels fly from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, baby, it's gonna be la vie.
Oh, good morning. This is Craig on Rainbow Radio here on Sunday morning in lovely Laguna Beach. The temperature is 60. What is it? Currently, it's 68 degrees, folks. So you people in Chicago and on the East Coast, eat your hearts out as I shouldn't say that, as we enjoy this fabulous weather here this morning. If you've on our mailing list, you will know that I have a guest, and fortunately, she brought her wife with her today. Marcy, say hello.
Hello.
A little pussy.
Hello, hello.
Try it again. Let me turn your microphone on. Maybe that'll help. Try it again.
Good morning.
Oh, there you are. And my special guest is Cheryl, and I hope I'm going to get this Procaccini.
You got it, Procaccini.
Procaccini. Let me practice that. Procaccini. Okay, I got it, I think. And who is Cheryl? What the heck does she do that's so important? We're delighted to welcome a very special guest to Rainbow Radio, Birdsong, also known as Cheryl Procaccini. Did I say that right again? Lovingly known as the Singing Naturalist. And I did go to her website and read up on her, and she has quite a legacy of children's music. And I'm so glad to be here because I do think the children are our future. Cheryl is performing as Birdsong as multiple award-winning songwriter and a recording artist whose music celebrates nature, inspires children, and reminds all of us of our shared responsibility to care for Mother Earth. That's near and dear to me. Her work has been featured in the Emmy Award-winning film Tide Pool Scene and honored with the prestigious Parents' Choice Award for Excellence in Children's Media. So that's a little bit about, she's got a bachelor's degree in special education and master's degree in social. Oh my God, Cheryl created Birdsong and the Echo wonders to spark curiosity, joy, and environmental stewardship through the power of music. Today, her lively and educational songs are used by teachers and families around the world, from the United States to Africa, from Europe, Asia, and beyond. So welcome, Cheryl. How are you this morning?
I'm wonderful, Greg. It's so good to be here. And beautiful day outside, the ocean's sparkling, and
It is a beautiful
Yeah,
day.
just-
You can actually see Catalina,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. Let me see. I got to make one little adjustment here because I think I have a little technical feedback, and we'll get that taken care of. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I've been looking forward. I did forward to this weekend with you as our guest and your wife, Marcy, and you've been. You said before we came on, you've been together for a while.
yes, we've been together for 29 years. Can you believe it?
You know, I had no idea that so many LGBTQ people have had partnerships for so many years. I think for many decades they were kind of kept secret, and they weren't so much discussed. And now I see on Facebook, I don't know, I cruise Facebook because I need to know what's kind of going on a little bit there, and on YouTube, that there's so many couples celebrating their relationships that I had no idea, 30, 40 years. And it's a surprise because I think I don't know, from the male side of it, on the gay scene, you're kind of like, oh, you have hookups, and relationships are not necessarily, I guess, on the menu. And I think for some people that do wind up and get married and to a man to a female and have kids, they still have those hookups, and it's so false and so unhealthy on so many levels. But I digress. Let's talk about you, Cheryl. What inspired you? Was there a moment that you said, kids need help?
Well, there was a moment. I wasn't planning it. I had been asked by a friend to join her in being trained as a Tidewater docent. This was back in maybe 2005.
Wow.
With what's now called the Laguna Ocean Foundation.
Yeah.
And during my training as a docent, I just fell in love with these little creatures, the hermit crabs and the anemones and sea stars. And so one day I was home and strumming on my guitar and started humming a tune and said to myself, this is what I feel like when I'm in the tide pools, and put some words to it, and it just came out as a children's song. I think the experience in the tide pools just inspired my inner child and all that wonder. And that song ended up being used in our local state park, and
Wow.
Was part of the state park's curriculum for when classrooms would come visit the tide pools. And I started hearing stories about how much the kids loved the song, and they were making up hand motions that went with it. And that was the moment I realized music is such a powerful tool and such a powerful way to reach all people, but also to reach children. And a tool for education and inspiration for Earth stewardship.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned tide pools. I think it's kind of that moment that caused another moment that caused another moment and put you on your path, is what it sounds like. But every child, I think, pretty much goes to the ocean, usually with their parents, and it's a whole different world and a whole different moment in their lives, and it's very, very memorable, I feel like. And I can still go see how many families have pictures of their family together at the beach. I swear everyone does. Maybe it's because I'm in California. Maybe landlocked, you don't have that. But you go to the lake, whatever, I don't know. But I think that's really interesting. Because I do remember so clearly with your parents and family at the beach, and it's kind of a wonderful moment to spring from where you've gone.
Yeah, I think humans in general are just so naturally drawn to the ocean. When you think about it, it's our life system. It's what makes our planet unique.
It's our lungs.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
the Earth's lungs.
Absolutely. Jacques Cousteau knew all about that. So when
when your first little step into it, did you then realize that maybe this is something important in your life that you wanted to pursue, or?
Yeah, absolutely. When I heard how much children were responding to it, and when I was asked to sing the song for groups of children, and I could just see their eyes light up and them asking questions about the tadpoles, I knew that I wanted to keep writing. That this was a path I would continue to be on. And put together another 12 songs after that of all ocean animals and ocean ecosystems for my first album.
I have 5 of your songs here. I'd like to pop one on right now if you want.
Can I say something about them?
Yeah, and because I want to know which one you want me to put. I got 5 of them. I got Earth is Our Home, Spider Song, Wild Life Corridor, Lonely Abalone. Oh, that's Traveling Seed, and Coyote.
Yeah. Well, let's. So this collection of songs that I sent you that you just named, Craig, these songs are not released yet. So this is sort of a special treat.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. I'm sorry.
No, this is great. I'm so excited to pre-release them to my Laguna Beach community.
Is it coming? The release date this week?
The release date is Thursday.
Oh, wow.
And
you heard it here first on KXFM 104.7.
So the release date is Thursday. The EP is called Earth is Our Home and Other Nature Songs for Kids. And I'm very, very excited about this. But I think, given that I started talking about the ocean, why don't we play the song on it that's ocean-based? It's called Lonely Abalone, inspired by another community member, my marine biologist friend Nancy Caruso. If she's listening in, a shout out to Nancy, who has a nonprofit called Get Inspired. And Nancy is, with her nonprofit and school-aged children, are restoring green abalone to our oceans.
Wow.
And so this song was inspired by her work, and I hope you like it.
All right, here we go.
Tell you about my special technique for keeping the ocean floor tight and neat. I grab kelp leaves when they fall. I grab them with my foot and I eat them all. I'm a mollusk with a spiral iridescent shell, using strong fancy footwork on the coastal shelf. But now I'm needing some help, 'cause I'm a lonely abalone. Lonely abalone. I need some other abalone, so I won't be lonely no more. Once upon a time, and not so long ago, there were millions of abalone up and down the coast. We had an epic popularity. I guess it was because we tasted so sweet, or perhaps it was our pretty iridescent shell, or my strong fancy footwork on the coastal shelf. But now we're needing some help, 'cause I'm a lonely abalone. Lonely abalone. I need some other abalone, so I won't be lonely no more. Why am I so lonely? It's because most of the other abalone were eaten to near extinction by the human population and their over-exploitation. Now the abalone nation is in need of restoration and clever conservation. Won't you hear my declaration? Please restore the abalone so I won't be lonely no more. Octopus, crabs, and otters need us for food, but I can't reproduce myself in solitude, no. The kelp forest, she's counting on me, but I'm gonna need some help to keep her clean. I need more friends with a spiral iridescent shell, using strong fancy footwork the coastal shelf. Oh yeah, I'm needing some help, 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 'cause I'm a lonely, 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 lonely abalone, lonely abalone. I need some other abalone so I won't be lonely no more. Oh, I'm a lonely, 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 lonely abalone, lonely abalone. I need some other abalone so I won't be lonely no more.
Oh, lonely abalone. Boy, that round of applause there was so strong.
I think it was all the abalone and kelp and all the ocean animals.
Everyone was chiming in on that
Yes.
one. I think that is great. I think your voice is very distinct, and kids will understand what is being said. I think that's important, and I do think it's a statement about friends. You don't want to be lonely; you want friends.
Yeah,
you know?
I think lots of people lots of children could relate to that.
Pull their heartstrings. Yeah, and so. Well, you heard it here first on KXFM here with Cheryl. And we have what 4 more songs on there. Let's see if we can get some more of them in here as we go along. When you let's go back to your progress, because we leapt forward to today with a new song. I don't want to leave out anything in between. So after your first success with your from your tide pool experience, what happened next in your career there?
Well, again, I was invited to some of our local settings to sing the songs to children, and one of the settings was our Pacific Marine Mammal Center, and they have a pinniped club for children. I don't know if they still do, but this was in 2005 or so, and I was invited to come sing there. And when I was there, I asked the children, what other songs do you want to hear? What other ocean animals do you want to hear about? And then I also asked them to tell me everything they knew about pinnipeds, because I wanted to write a song about pinnipeds. Pinnipeds are the seals, sea lions, and walruses of the world.
Oh, I was wondering where.
Yeah, so I just started interviewing children, saying, what ocean animals would you like me to write a song about? And started gathering information based on what they were excited about, what they already knew, and then did my own research.
What were some of their suggestions?
Well, everybody wanted dolphins.
Okay.
Everybody wanted dolphins, and everybody wanted whales. Few children had seen octopus in our tide pools, and were really excited about that. I had... Of course, our local Laguna Beach puts on a kelp festival every year. So the adults wanted a kelp song, so that got thrown in. And before we knew it, we had 13 songs from my first album, If I Were a Fish, and other ocean songs for kids. But as I began on this journey, Craig, I knew this was going to take this. It was a big commitment, both the writing, the recording. It was a time commitment. It was a financial commitment in terms of the studio time. It was a commitment in our lives. I, certainly talked to Marcy about it, and who, by the way, does backup and harmony on lots of these songs.
I had no idea.
I'm a pinniped.
But one day I just went to the ocean, and I just did a sort of a question to my life. And I said, a call out to my life and said, give me a sign. If this is going to take a lot of energy, it's going to take my life in a parallel course to the career that I also need to pay attention to and give my energy to. Am I on the right track? And as I asked that question, this is giving me goosebumps.
Yeah.
A gray whale did a spy hop. This was down at what's the cove?
Montage?
At the Montage Cove, one of the coves, Goff's Cove. And many of the gray whales on their migration will come close in to the coast. And a gray whale did a spy hop. And I thought, okay,
there was your message.
There's my message. There's my sign. And that's happened when as I've been writing these songs, many times one of the animals I'm writing about will appear either in nature or in a dream.
Just to touch a little bit on your experience with the ocean, one of my darkest days that I ever had, I closed the office up, locked everything up, and I drove down to the beach, and I sat on a bench. I didn't get really I sat on a bench for 4 hours and just listened to the ocean, and there were kids, making noise and whatnot, and it did the trick. It really worked.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything, but I sure felt the rhythm of the waves and the white noise that comes from the ocean. That's so settling, I guess.
Yeah. The ocean is both fierce and so healing.
Yeah,
Fierce
at the
and
same time.
soothing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think from my experience, my mother's greatest regret when she left Hawaii and came back to the mainland was that for 22 years she went to bed to the sound of the ocean. And she missed that terribly in Arizona. Anyway, I digress. Enough about me. So you got that message loud and clear, and that, did you discuss it with Cheryl then? I mean, Cheryl with Marcy.
Well, I certainly told Marcy about that experience with the gray whale, but Marcy has always been my number one fan and support. In terms of me pursuing my dreams and my music. We actually recorded an adult album quite a few years ago. So both of us met as we were psychotherapists, but we also used sound and music as part of healing. And we had written some of our own songs, adults healing music. So we actually recorded an album many, many years ago. So Marcy's always been right by my side.
I would say we fell in love with each other's music and then fell in love with each other.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. I think I don't know what bonds us together is pretty amazing. I do feel I had a therapist friend who said that some of the best therapy to understanding and bringing people out to deal with their issues and understand themselves more is music and art. And particularly art, she said that if you can express yourself, it's non-threatening, and it gives you space to be who you are. And you don't have to explain anything to anyone. You just do it, and it helps bring things together. So I think what you're doing is just that, That's great.
One of the nice things for us, I'm also a psychotherapist, and so our day jobs can be pretty emotionally intense. So we can come home and sing these songs, the Birdsong and the Eco Winters, we get to be 6-year-olds.
I love that. We all need to be 6-year-olds once in a while, don't we?
I absolutely agree.
It gives you some space to make things. So this was kind of a pivotal moment from what your regular work and to load this on top or to bring it into the fold there.
Yeah. It's always a balancing act, to... my main work as a therapist needs to stay very steady. And my work as a songwriter has, it ebbs and flows when there's time, when there's inspiration, when there's, a little break to sit down and kind of see what's inspiring me. But, the muse, Mother Earth is such a muse for me. Not only she's been a place of refuge and healing for me since I was a child, and such an inspiration, where I'll be taking a walk in the morning and, something happens and a line of a song just pops in. Or if I'm stuck on a song, then my inner 6-year-old becomes the muse, and I'll say, well, how would you talk about this animal?
So it allows you to have a different perspective from a different view.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coyote's been on your trail recently.
Yes, I've known I wanted to write a song about coyotes are our neighbors here.
Yes.
And as much controversy as there is sometimes about, their right to exist here, I absolutely believe they have a right to exist here. They were here before us, and I think that, whenever we develop homes and life right at the edge of wilderness, we have to figure out how to coexist. And so Coyote kept appearing to me on the morning trail up in at Moulton Meadows Park.
Yeah.
And I knew it was time to write a song. And I also asked my little 6-year-old inside, how should we start this song? So I think this might be a good time to play Coyote.
Coyote, Coyote.
And by the way, the coyote sounds you hear are sounds that I recorded.
Also about the mindfulness.
Also,
Go ahead.
when I first knew I wanted to write about Coyote, I thought Coyote would be a great teacher, a great example of being mindful in nature, learning how to really stop and observe and watch. Because whenever I would see Coyote, that's what it was doing. It was so using all of its senses.
I want to tell you a little story about Coyote. Where I live in San Juan Capistrano, there's a huge development going up on the hill all the way to the top of this mountain nearby. It is huge, and so it's displacing a lot of coyotes. And they're more prevalent in closer and down to this golf course, San Juan Golf Course. And my neighbor lady has a dog named Buck. And so she would always walk Buck, and she's always been fearful of coyotes. But Buck has had no fear, and so she's out walking, and there's 3 coyotes. 2 of them look small, like maybe they're not fully grown yet, and another one, and she's thinking, oh, their mother's going to protect us, this is not going to be good. And she tried to get Buck. Buck went over, and they had the best time. They started playing and frolicking on the lawn, and so my neighbor lady, she changed her attitude,
Yeah.
which I thought this was great. Buck, her dog, was giving her a lesson.
Go Buck. That's great.
So we laugh about that. But I mean, there are some hazards.
They're cousins, right? They're canines.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely.
And Buck just wanted to play, and and the little ones wanted to play too. So there's a lesson right there. So I'm getting all emotional here already. Your coyote on the trail was there for a reason. It sounds like. Yeah.
Absolutely.
With that, shall we listen to Coyote?
Yeah, please.
All right.
In the night I can hear a yip yip at the edge of my neighborhood, and then a howl and a ruff. I'd run with you if I could. Coyote, coyote, what you gonna do tonight? Coyote says I'm gonna look for food and roam under the full moonlight. I'm gonna run, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna look, I'm gonna sniff, I'm gonna listen to the sounds of life around me. Sometimes at night when you yip yip, another coyote calls back to you. I hear the echoes of howls and ruff ruff, and know this place is your home too. Coyote, coyote, what you gonna do tonight? Coyote says I'm gonna look for food and roam under the full moonlight. I'm gonna run, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna look, I'm gonna sniff, I'm gonna listen to the sounds of life around me. I am Coyote, Coyote I am. Some people complain that I come on their land, but this land is ours too. We're willing to share. We can be your neighbors, you do not need to fear. Sometimes you might see me, and then I'll disappear. But if my scat's on the path, then you know I am near. Just keep your pets inside so we all can survive. We're just looking for food to keep our families alive. I'm clever, swift, I've survived their many changes. You can learn from me no matter what your age is. Use your senses to observe the world around you. Gather the knowledge the earth wants to give you. And when you're outside, notice if you could all the wonders of nature in your own neighborhood. Coyote, coyote, what you gonna do tonight? Coyote says I'm gonna look for food and roam under the full moonlight. gonna stop, I'm gonna look, I'm gonna sniff, I'm gonna listen. Listen to the sounds of life around me. Listen to the sounds of life around me. Listen to the sounds of life around me.
Oh, wow. Those sounds are all very familiar to me. I think we've all heard them.
I recorded those on my iPhone.
Oh, no.
Actually, down in Escondido, pre-dawn. I heard them, and I just put my phone on and recorded them, and then I sent them to my producer, who I want to do a shout out for James Coffey, my children's music producer. But I sent them to Jim and said, there's some static in between the sounds. Can we clean that up and use it on the album, on the song? And he did it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I said to Jim, I don't play the string instruments you hear there, that sort of violin. And I said, I'd love to have some string instrument that's like talking back and forth with the coyote. And Jim came up with that. So I thought that was he did a brilliant job with it. So shout out to James Coffey of Blue Vision Music.
Yeah. As I listened to that, I thought about children, obviously, listening, and I was thinking, and maybe I'm going to solicit your professional opinion about this, because both of you have experience in psychotherapy. I say that this child that's listening has a family situation that's less than nice. It seems that this music gives them a compartment, maybe, or a space that is away from all of that is good. And so what's your thought on that? Is that
well, it brings me to a story that I heard.
Good,
right?
good.
So my song "Migration," about the migration of the gray whales.
Yeah.
On the first album, there's a speaking section where I say, "Oh, those mother gray whales! Oh, how they love their babies! They nurse them and feed them and protect them. It's a beautiful sight to see," or something like that. So what I didn't know is that song was being used by a craniosacral therapist who was working with children with attachment issues. In other words, probably in their early life, their early attachments had been disrupted by, maybe being given up at birth, or maybe there was some birth trauma. Or
violence at home.
Violence at home, right? Same, either witnessed violence or been the recipient of abuse. And so this therapist that was working with this child, she said when that part of the song came on, she was working with his energy and the fluid in the brain, and that when that part of the song came down on, everything calmed down in him.
Oh.
Right, so I think there's something about the stories of animals, about a lot of my songs talk about animal families and protecting their young.
So for this child, it was a mirror or I guess it was a message that there are good relationships and loving ones.
Absolutely.
And that maybe that child's experience was the exception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even if we have hard beginnings, that there's healing available and healthy, connected relationships, whether they're foster parents or friends or grandparents or a loving teacher. Mm-hmm. There are many opportunities along the way.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's great. I agree. I mean, to me, it was not I guess on some level, it could be an opportunity to escape a situation that you're not.
Refuge.
A refuge, yeah. Thank you. That's the perfect word on that. Yeah, and I think everyone, no matter what age, once in a while needs a refuge. A space where they can be comfortable with it. So it's really interesting to know. You must have been a bit pleased with that.
I was moved. I was deeply, deeply moved by that.
Yeah.
To know, and I think that for all of us, that songwriters and musicians, when we do get some feedback that says, "Hey, that song really helped me out," or I still have parents that will reach out and say, the music just brought so much joy to our families. And when my children got out of the car, I kept it going because I kept the CD on because I loved them so much. So it lets us know that the music's making a difference.
It reminds me, too, of Keep the Ocean Clean and the letter you got about the 7-year-old from the parent.
Right. So this mom wrote to me that she said, we're in Maui and we were snorkeling and my son kept coming up with trash, collecting trash from the ocean. And I asked him, what inspired you to do that? And he said, that song, Mom, I can't get it out of my head. Keep the ocean clean. It's the most important thing. Please pick your trash up off the beach. Recycle most everything. Find out what pollutes the sea and ask your friends to help keep the ocean clean. Because after all, the ocean is our home. Said my friends, the dolphins. After all, the ocean is our home.
Wow. Right here live on KXFM. Well, you never know how far your messages go and how they may affect a lot of people's lives. And I always try to tell myself, even with the radio program, it's if one person somewhere has a moment where it makes them feel good and makes them, happy to be who they are and feel good about themselves, then it's worth it.
Absolutely, yeah.
What can I say?
And all those moments add up. If if we're all showing up and sharing what we have to share, and it creates moments for people, those moments add up all over the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of all over the world, Craig, when we travel, Cheryl will make contact with the schools. Mm-hmm. And so we've sung in the Seychelles Islands, in Africa, Belize, in classrooms. Students come out and sing along with us.
I think, and you're champion young adults. I think that's an important thing, too, that their lives are important and they can contribute something. Even as a child, yeah,
absolutely.
It's great. I don't want to say that. I don't know how. Something is in my brain here, and I'm not going to, if I can get it out properly. But with when you're young, there's so many influences in your world, and so many of them can be so. I don't want to say so. Can be very powerful, and that's the good and the bad. And the more the good out there, it's like, as the Native American said, I got two spirits in my brain, and they're both wolves. And how do I deal with them? And the one said, you feed the good wolf. Mm. And so you're feeding the goodness in those kids. And hopefully that goodness manifests in a lifetime of goodness, And I think that's just so honorable to do that. I don't know how to say, but yeah, good for you. Good for both of you to get that message out there to those kids. Because, like I said, there's also bad influences. So the more, the better, the better, the better, the way it goes. I do have a couple more songs there. Is there another one you want to touch on?
Well, there is a wildlife. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All around the world right now, and also here in Orange County and Los Angeles, something called wildlife corridors are being established, and built. And
it's a wonderful thing.
Right. So in Los Angeles, they're due to finish the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing, which is supposed to be the largest one in the world.
What do they do?
So these wildlife crossings or corridors allow animals, especially the larger mammals, and in our case, in this area, it would be coyote, deer, fox, bobcat, in some of the hills, the mountain lions. It allows these animals to be able to move from one habitat to the next.
Yeah, I want to add to that their habitats have been sliced up.
Exactly.
And where they live and where they feed and where they hunt has been cut off, and so they're having to over to transport themselves across these freeways,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
they starve to death,
Exactly.
or it's devastating. And
Right. Or the biodiversity gets cut off because they don't have a non-related mate, someone to mate with. So the food source, the lack of biodiversity, it's all at risk without a way to connect these different habitats. And so these wildlife corridors or crossings are ways to connect. So here in Orange County, we have under in progress I believe it's called the Laguna Irvine crossing.
yes, that's
right?
a big deal.
And
yeah.
so that's going to connect the 22,000 acres we have in our greenbelt in Laguna to the hundreds of thousands acres in Cleveland National Forest and the Santa Ana Mountains. So the coyote, the bobcat, the fox, the mule deer, even the birds, right, can find
Yes.
a way to these other territories.
So the listeners to understand it, it is a very wide span of ground, above ground. It doesn't go under the freeways, it goes over them.
It depends. So in Los Angeles, it's over the freeway.
Looks like a freeway bridge.
Right. I
Right.
believe what's happening here is it might be under the freeway. So again, I'm not an expert on our local one. I'd like to learn more about it, but I know that they have some tunnels, and if anybody's listening who knows better, please call in and let us know.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're planning an overpass here in Orange County. I'd like to know about that. But
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
I thought it was an overpass, but I don't
but
know.
it's really they've really mapped it out, and there's a coalition of organizations, including our Laguna. I think it's called our Laguna Greenbelt Incorporated. They're leading a coalition to create again this Irvine Laguna Wildlife Corridor, and it would allow the movement of wildlife between our Greenbelt and the Cleveland National Forest and Santa Ana Mountains.
Yeah.
Now tell them about P22.
So, P22 was the beloved mountain lion of Hollywood Hills. Do you remember hearing about P22?
No.
It was a mountain lion that just kept hanging out in Griffith Park and Hollywood Hills, but the only way that mountain lion could get to bigger territory was to cross the 101 freeway. So P22 had been hit a number of times. Eventually, P22 died. But this mountain lion, I believe this mountain lion had a lot to do with inspiring the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing.
And thousands of people came to the funeral of this mountain lion that was hit on the freeway.
Yeah, and they had a memorial service. And so P22 inspired the first verse of the song I hope we're about to hear, called Wildlife Corridor.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay. As we move along here, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Craig?
Yes.
I'm a puma, cougar, mountain lion, and once upon a time these hills were mine. I could run for miles, hunt and play, go from habitat to find a mate. But there are cars and highways now wherever I go, and it's dangerous to cross this busy road. I need a bridge or tunnel to the other side where I can find some food and stay alive. I need a wildlife corridor, a safe way to travel and explore. A wildlife corridor, my health and survival depend on it, and other animals will also benefit from a wildlife corridor. We're gentle giants, humpback whales, ocean acrobats with distinctive tails. We sing and reach to communicate, swim thousands of miles when we migrate. But we get tangled in fishing lines and hit by boats, and there's too much noise on our migratory routes. We need a clear passage in the open sea where we can hear each other's calls and swim safely. We need a wildlife hotter than it used to be. Say the butterflies, birds, and bumblebees. We need to search a little further each day to find food and water as our climates change. We need more native plants without a doubt, and forests to protect us from the droughts. Streams and habitats where we can choose a place to shelter and reproduce. We need a wildlife corridor, a safe way to travel and explore. A wildlife corridor, our health and survival depend on it, and other animals will also benefit from a wildlife corridor. Fox, deer, coyote and bears, bobcat, lizards, wolves and caribou, salmon, sharks, sea turtles too. These animals and so many more need a wildlife corridor. Wildlife corridor, wildlife corridor.
Well, that about explains it in great detail. I can say that the Irvine, and I found this during this song, it's a 6-mile partially completed habitat linking and connecting 22,000 acres of coastal wildlife in Laguna Beach to over 150,000 acres. That's huge. In the Santa Ana Mountains. It facilitates safe movement of species like bobcats, coyotes, foxes, urbanized areas via creek side paths. It's a lot more than just the path over the freeway. It is over miles and miles of land that encourage migration and give the habitat, the animals living in the habitat, a path to go back and forth to these areas. That's great. Well, we see it's an educational program here too. We learn all sorts of stuff. What's important?
We actually call it edutainment.
I like that. Yeah.
So, Wildlife Corridor and Coyote will, and all the songs from this EP will release on Thursday
Okay.
on all streaming platforms, and you'll be able to find it under Birdsong and the Eco Wonders. That's my musical brand. So
Okay.
if you look up just Birdsong, you won't find it. It needs to be Birdsong and the Eco Wonders.
And ECO Wonders, huh? Mm-hmm. Is any of it available on Amazon or any of the other?
All of it.
Okay.
All of those, all streaming platforms. So the first 2 albums, If I Were a Fish and Other Ocean Songs for Kids, and Everything is Connected and Other Animal Songs for Kids, which I brought you copies of today for you,
thank
Craig.
you.
They're already released on all streaming platforms.
Okay.
So,
We have a YouTube station, Pandora,
Everywhere.
Spotify. You can see it anywhere.
So if you were just going to do a quick Google search to find all about you, you would put in Birdsong
and the Eco Wonders.
and Eco Wonders.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Because
and then,
Birdsong will bring you to lots of different places.
I'm sure.
Right. So Birdsong's my singing name. One of my neighbors decided that's what I should be called. And then the Eco Wonders are the amazing animals and wonders of nature that I sing about.
Wow,
Yeah.
I think that's great. I was going to say what time it is. We have, if you've just tuned in, and I hope we're visiting here with Cheryl and Marcy, and talking about music and how it can be used for many purposes, including causes and instilling in young adults good things to be for their future and whatnot. And where to get a hold of you and everything. We do need to take a station break here and take one ad and then go into I hate to say it, into the top of the hour. But if you want to stick around a little bit into the next hour, we'd love to have you if you want. If you have things to do, then that's the way it is. But is there any? Do you have any shout outs for anyone you want to? You've done a few already.
Well, I've always wanted to do shout outs to my wife, Marcy.
Thank you.
I can tell she's very supportive.
She's been by my side. I mean, not just by my side, but on stage with me in the pre-COVID days when we were performing. And yes,
I've featured as a pinniped or as a wolf. I've had puppets and toddlers in my hands. I told her I'd do anything but dance in a tutu, and so far we're good.
Oh, I've danced in a tutu.
Well, that's good for you.
Thank you.
I think my biggest shout out is to these animals.
Oh, good shot. That's a good one. Yeah.
They don't have. It's good to be a voice for them, and
Yeah.
a voice for them, and a voice that children would understand and
Yeah.
relate to. Because I really feel like I do believe they deserve our protection. They deserve rights, a right to food
Yeah.
and water and shelter, and the ability to be happy and free, as all humans do.
Right.
And so shout out to them. And again, I can't say thank you enough to James Coffey, my producer, producer extraordinaire. He just works side by side with me and is able to come, to put together amazing music arrangements based on, what I've asked for. So
If you had I don't know, maybe you could have a nursery or a child care service, or you're a kindergarten instructor or teacher, or an educator, and they wanted to embrace you and bring you into their classroom or whatever. Is that something that you do?
I have done that.
Yeah.
So I would say if that's something you'd like, please contact me.
Yeah.
Also, teachers pay teachers.
Yeah, and and I also all of my music is on a website store called Teachers Pay Teachers. So it's
Oh.
where it's very popular for teachers to go there and find music, find lessons for kids that relates to some topic that they're teaching.
Okay, we do have looks like 2 more songs we haven't heard from you. But let's
We could move to a fun one.
okay. Let's get the top of the hour news out of the way here, and we'll be right back after I move through things around here. Keep talking amongst yourselves. What's the next fun song that you'd like to bring?
Let's do Traveling Seed.
Okay, we're going to do that right now. Did anything more you want to say about Traveling Seed? An introduction. What it's a
story.
Oh, it's a
What's that?
Tells its own story.
Well, I think it tells its own story, but I wanted to write it in a way that would have the listener trying to figure out how to help this little seed who's stuck in a fruit on a branch in a tree travel.
okay. We're going to listen to that after we do our station identification here, and one little ad, and we'll be back with Traveling Seed. Here we go.
KXRN LP, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach. KXFM on 104.7, KXFMradio.org.
Hey there, what's up, Laguna? Janice Murray here with news. Laguna Beach is moving aggressively to underground utility and power lines. In early 2026, key projects focus on North Laguna and the Top of the World neighborhoods. In North Laguna, work has started this month to move 3,500 linear feet of overhead power lines underground. And in Top of the World, resident petitions are approved, and the city has initiated the assessment district formation process for undergrounding. In Woods Cove, construction to remove poles and wires has been approved, plus undergrounding continues along Laguna Canyon Road, a key evacuation route with some financial aid from the state. Why? To lower fire risks and increase safety. The process for a neighborhood is complex, lengthy, and costly. Residents are required to buy in financially to a certain degree and then wait as long as 5 years for completion. But the city appears to be ready if your neighborhood is, so contact them. In addition to fire safety, undergrounding might just improve your ocean views. And I'm Janice Murray for news on 104.7 KXFM. And now, here's Dave.
Janice, happy March 1st, and March is coming in like a lamb. Weather-wise, plenty of sunshine. It's mild, and it's slightly cooler than the last couple of days that have been quite warm. 70 at the beach, the hilltop 72, the canyon 70. Tonight, partly cloudy skies 53. Monday and Tuesday, some early morning clouds, a little bit more of an onshore flow, then turning sunny skies fairly quickly. 64 for the high Monday. And again on Tuesday, full moon is Tuesday with an eclipse of the moon early in the morning on Tuesday, the peak right around 3 a.m. And don't forget, time change weekend coming up March 8th. We spring ahead. That's my forecast. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray. Tune in, turn on to KXFM 104.7, Laguna's Community Radio.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. George Dubin with you. I'm your host for Art Matters on Tuesdays at 1 p.m., where myself and my learned guests talk about the issues facing our creative community here in the Art Colony. So please tune in to KXFM 104.7 at 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. And remember, friends, the soul and vitality of any community is often measured by how they treat their creatives.
My name is Henry Walker, and I'm a fourth-generation banker and CEO of Farmers and Merchants Bank. When my great-grandparents, Carrie and C.J. Walker, started F&M Bank 118 years ago, they made a pledge to help small businesses and working people achieve the American dream right here in a new land called California. We've been honing that vision ever since through 4 generations of family stewardship. We've worked to create a culture unlike any other bank in the nation, of purpose over profit, of service above self, of partnerships based on trust. We make banking personal. Our latest addition to the F&M family is our beautiful new Laguna Beach branch location at Glen Eyrie and Laguna Ave. We're here to help you realize your dreams of home ownership, financial planning, and starting or growing a business. Stop by. You never need an appointment. Our bankers are members of the community. They remember your name because we pride ourselves on genuine relationships, not transactional ones.
Okay.
F&M Bank, some things will always be. Stop by today. Member FDIC.
This disclaimer is a statement notifying listening audiences that any opinions expressed on our shows are not representative of Laguna Radio, Inc., its management, or its board of directors.
Oh, we're back here with Rainbow Radio here Sunday morning with my guests Marcy and Cheryl, and we have a song queued up and ready to go here. It is, again, we just talked about it a second ago, Traveling Seed, and well, let's listen to it now. On the other side, maybe we can examine it a little bit more. Here we go.
In a tree so high was a little seed who could not fly. If I could fly, said that little seed, I would travel far from this old tree. I love this tree, but it's time to roam and find some ground to call my own, where I can sprout some roots and start to grow. I want to be a traveling seed, a traveling seed I want to be. I wonder just how far I'll go before I drop and start to grow. Before I drop and start to grow. If I had wings like a pine cone seed, wind would surely carry me. Or if I were a seed with hooks or burrs, I'd hitch a ride on a monkey's fur. But I don't have birds, wings nor feet. I'm a seed in a fruit, on a branch in a tree. Does anybody have a clue how a seed like me can move? I want to be a traveling seed, a traveling seed I want to be. I wonder just how far I'll go before I drop and start to grow. Before I drop and start to grow. have a notion how I can get some locomotion. 'Cause I'm a seed who needs to relocate to the perfect place to germinate, where there's healthy soil and the right amount of water and sunlight. Does anybody have a clue how a seed like me, who's stuck in a fruit on a branch in a tree, can move? I need to move. Don't worry, little seed, said the hungry bear. I'll help you travel away from here. You're covered in a fruit so sweet, just the kind of food that I like to eat. And the bear ate the fruit right off of the tree, and then she swallowed the little seed. And as the bear walked home satisfied, the little seed cried, finally, I have a ride. Yes, indeed, I'm a traveling seed, hitching a ride in a bear's belly. I wonder just how far I'll go before I drop and start to grow. Before I drop and start to grow. Can you guess how I drop and start to grow?
Oh, horses have the same capacity for eating apples and starting new apple trees. and they travel a lot. See, it's very educational here. Then there's certain seeds like tumbleweeds. They just tumble along.
Right.
The wind carries them along. Or what is it? What are those? Is it dandelions? They have little.
The wind carries them.
Wind carries them, yeah. So
absolutely.
see, we learn everything here on KXFM. We're back on this second hour here on KXFM Radio with Marcy and Cheryl, and we're talking about music as a voice for education and life enhancements and many good things with children primarily. But as we all, which is a great seeds. Children are seeds too, right? So we got to travel those seeds around too. You know.
They need. Yeah.
It's all good.
They need
We
to
have
be watered.
And then I have Spider Song. Did you want to share with me about how that started, or anything about that song, or do you want to do live?
Well, would you like to hear the very first children's song I ever wrote?
I think that would be absolutely fabulous if you've got a moment here. Do you need some time?
Do you want me to do that now, or after you do some news, or how did you want to do that?
I don't have any more news. I do have Rainbow Radio has a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't. I do have a feel good moment. Why don't I share a feel-good moment what has to do with the news and Rainbow Radio while Cheryl gets set up over there. So as part of my regular program here on Rainbow Radio, I do have, since we talked about marriage equality and that my guests here are married and have been together for how many years again?
We've been together for 29, but we just got married this last April.
Last April.
As with noticing how the climate was changing, we thought perhaps we'd better get ourselves in there.
I totally agree, and that's
wanted to